morning, viewers, and welcome to yet another program in this year's National Science and Maths Quiz Competition. Today's contest is the 7th in the preliminary series. Competing are Mfantsipim School and Amponsem Secondary School, both from the Central Region. The contestants from Mfantsipim School are to my immediate right. They are
Nsmq Emmanuel, SS3.
Achu Agbamabia SS3.
Okay, Bernard, SS3.
To the far right, we have Amponsem Secondary School, represented by
Siwa Nabano, SS3.
Daniel Amihia, SS3.
Terry Samuel, SS3.
Viewers, Mfantsipim School is not new to you. Amponsem haven't been around for a while. It's good to have you on the program, ladies and gentlemen, and here are the rules for round 1. You have 15 seconds within which to give me an answer. A correct answer to a major question earns you 3 points, and a bonus question answered correctly earns you 1 point. Remember, a bonus question can be attempted only once. Your question in Mfantsipim School. Give the chemical formula for the anion hexaoxomu peroxodisulfate 6. Achu?
SO42-.
That is not right. 1 point for a bonus. Daniel?
CR2, O7-2.
I'm sorry, I don't know where you're coming from. We said hexaoxomu peroxodisulfate 6. Sulfate 6, so it can be Cr. It's S2OH 2-, all right? Your major question, Amponsem. Give the chemical formula for the anion hexaoxomu oxodichromate 6. Daniel again.
CR2, O7, 2-.
And that is correct. Mfantsipim. Give the equation of the line parallel to the line y minus 2x equals 3 and passing through the point A11. Ishan.
Y is equal to 2x minus 1.
And that is correct. Amponsem, find the equation of the line perpendicular to the line 2y plus x equals 1 and passing through the point B -1. Daniel?
Y is equals to 1 minus 2x.
No, that can't be right. To Mfantsipim for a bonus session.
Y is equal to 2x minus 3.
And that is correct. Your question, Mfantsipim, name 2 optical instruments which make use of refraction of light. Achu?
The compound microscope and then the telescope.
And that is correct. Amponsem, name 2 optical instruments which make use of reflection of light. Hannah?
The prism periscope and binocular periscope.
No.
And the prism binocular.
No. Do you want to add something, Daniel? No, so that's Samuel, yes?
It's the simple periscope and the camera.
And the what?
The camera.
I'm sorry. I'll give you 2. I'll give you 2. You have the periscope, the kaleidoscope, or the sextant. The sextant, right? The sextant. Your question in Mfantsipim School. The sensory nerve that supplies the eye is called optic nerve. What name is given to the sensory nerve that supplies the ear? And I guess I'll say only one attempt. Achu?
Auditory nerve.
And that is correct. Amponsem, fill in the blank in the following statement. The organs of smell are actually a group of epithelial cells that respond to blank in the environment? Hannah?
Things.
I'm sorry, I won't take that. To Mfantsipim School for a bonus. Asian?
Changes in the smell of the environment.
That is not true either, and the answer is chemicals. Chemicals. They respond to chemicals in the environment. Your question in Mfantsipim School, who stated that the direction of induced EMF is always such as to oppose the change producing it? One attempt only. Achu?
Lens.
And that is correct. This might be a giveaway. Amponsem, who stated that a body immersed wholly or partially in a fluid experiences an upthrust equal to the weight of fluid displaced? One attempt only. Samuel?
Archimedes.
And that is correct. Your question in Mfantsipim School. Simplify cube root of 81 times cube root of 9. Achu?
4 root 9.
No. I won't take that. Ishan?
3.
No, it's not 3. Okay? It's not 6. To 1.7 for a bonus. Yes, Daniel?
9.
9 is correct. 1.7. Simplify cube root of x raised to power 4 times y squared. That's 1 cube root. Cube root of x raised to power 4 y squared times cube root of x raised to power 2 y raised to power 4. Yes, Samuel?
S cube, Y cube.
No, not x cubed, y cubed. Daniel?
S square, Y power 4.
No, Daniel. To Mfantsipim for a bonus at you.
S squared, Y squared.
And that is correct. That is correct. Mfantsipim, what type of bond do you expect to be formed between carbon and hydrogen in methane, and why? Achu?
I expect a covalent bond with intermolecular van der Waals forces. This is because carbon and hydrogen have smaller electronegativities, and therefore they have to share electrons to form the bond.
I'll give you the math. Their electronegativities are close, all right? 1.7 secondary, why is the bonding in magnesium chloride ionic? Samuel?
Magnesium is a metal and has a lower electronegativity, whilst chlorine is a halogen and has a high electronegativity. So when they combine, the chlorine pulls electrons from the magnesium towards itself, and that makes it ionic because of their different charges.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. You see, and there again is a matter of expression. You said magnesium is less electronegative and chlorine is more electronegative. Magnesium is actually electropositive and chlorine is electronegative. So they would normally go into ionic bonding. Your question in Mfantsipim School. When a person donates blood to another person of different blood group, the red blood cells of the recipient clump together. What is this phenomenon or process called? Okay.
Agglutination.
That is correct. In mammals and other organisms, a constant internal environment is maintained to ensure that physiological processes proceed at optimum rates. What is this maintenance of a constant internal environment called? Hannah?
Homeostasis.
And that is correct. And that, viewers, brings us to the end of round 1. At the end of round 1, Amponsem Secondary has 14 points, Mfantsipim School has 20 points. And now to round 2, the applied science round. Contestants, you have 15 seconds within which to give me an answer for most of the questions in this round. In a few instances, you have 30 seconds because questions will involve calculation. I'll start with Amponsem this time, and your question is, why is it advisable to use thin glass to make the bulb of a thermometer? Samuel.
Because glass is not a good conductor of heat, so if you make it thick, it will not conduct heat more. But if you make it thin, it will the heat will be able to pass through as compared to, it will be able to conduct the heat as compared to the thick one, so that the mercury will be able to rise and record the temperature.
Hannah, do you want to make that better? Yes, I'll give you a chance.
That's so because the thermometer is operates on the principle with changes in temperature, and as gas is not a good conductor of heat, if it is thickened, that means that it will not respond rapidly to temperature changes and it will cause inaccurate reading.
And that is correct. In Mfantsipim School, your question. Give 2 differences between a clinical thermometer and an ordinary laboratory mercury in glass thermometer. Achu.
For the clinical thermometer, the temperature range is just a little bit, the maximum temperature range is just a little bit above 40. But for the ordinary laboratory thermometer, it rises to, it has a very high range. And then also for the clinical thermometer is smaller than the laboratory thermometer.
Do you want to add something, Ishan?
In the clinical thermometer, there is a kink which prevents the backflow of mercury, but that's not so in the laboratory thermometer.
Are you done? I'll give you 2 out of 3. Yeah, your differences are true, and the third thing is that actually in a clinical thermometer you don't have mercury. What you have is alcohol, okay? Your question, Amponsem Secondary School. Give me 2 functions of meiosis. 2 functions of meiosis. Yes, Hannah.
It results in the production of haploid offspring, haploid offspring, and it helps to maintain the chromosomes of successive generation.
Are you done? I'll give you 1. Yeah, again, you see, it's expressing exactly what you mean, and it wasn't coming out. You don't produce haploid offspring. You produce haploid gametes so that when they fuse, you can get your original diploid chromosome number. And the other function is that it introduces variation in the offspring through crossing over. All right, your question in Mfantsipim School. Give me 2 functions of aqueous humor. Okay.
It allows light to refract in it to produce an image on the cornea. Then secondly, it nourishes the eye and washes away bacteria and other organisms that may be on the eye.
Are you done?
It also maintains the shape of the eye.
And that is correct. The light part wasn't correct. It maintains the shape of the eye and it nourishes the cornea and the lens. Your question, Amponsem Secondary. Name the monomer of the polymer PVC, that is polyvinyl chloride. Samuel.
Phenylchlorine.
No, not vinyl chlorine. Daniel.
Ethene.
Not ethene, try harder. So Mfantsipim for a bonus, okay.
Vinyl chloride.
Not vinyl chloride, because it's a polyvinyl chloride, the monomer should be vinyl chloride. And the answer is chloroethene, chloroethene. Your major question in Mfantsipim School, Name the monomer of the polymer Teflon. The monomer of the polymer Teflon. Asian.
1,2-ethene-diene.
No. Amponsem for a bonus. And the answer is tetrafluoroethene. Tetrafluoroethene. Your question, Amponsem. During the process of swallowing, what mechanism ensures that food does not enter the trachea? Hannah.
The epiglottis.
What does it do?
It closes the pharynx, that the part that leads to the breathing larynx, so that the food particles that will not enter that place to cause any harm.
I'll give you the mark. Yeah, the epiglottis closes the glottis, which is the opening of the trachea into the larynx. It closes it, and so you don't get food entering the trachea. Your question in Mfantsipim School. Explain how red blood cells are able to pass through very small blood capillaries without getting ruptured. Asian.
Okay, red blood cells do not have nucleus, and so they are able to squeeze and then pass through these pores, and then afterwards they regain their shape.
Is it only because they don't have a nucleus?
And then they have a biconcave shape, which also enables them to pass through.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. Yeah, apart from not having a nucleus, they have a flexible cell membrane. So they are able to squeeze through the capillaries, and then they regain their shape when they get on the other side. Your question, Amponsem. What is meant by the following statement? The electrochemical equivalent of copper is 3.3 times 10 to the minus 7 kilograms per coulomb. Yes, Samuel.
This means that when a charge of 1 coulomb is passed through an electrolyte containing a copper electrode, 3.3 times 10 raised the power, 3.3 times 10 raised the power, negative 7 kilograms of the copper will be released.
Will be released.
Will be deposited.
And that is correct. Your question in Mfantsipim School. What does the following statement mean? The resistivity of copper is 1.50 times 10 to the power minus 8 ohm meter. Asian.
It means that the resistance of a unit length of copper of a unit area is 1.5 times 10 as a negative 8 ohms.
Right, unit cross-sectional area. Your question, Amponsem. Corrosion of iron is a redox process. Corrosion of iron is a redox process. What process constitutes reduction in the corrosion? The equation for that half reaction. What process constitutes reduction in the corrosion? Yeah, Hannah.
Iron 2 plus 2 electrons to give 4 OH minus and H2O, water.
Again.
Iron 2 plus.
I just want the reduction process. What process constitutes reduction in the corrosion?
Iron 2.
Samuel, do you want to try? Yes?
H2O going to O2.
Twin Mfantsipim for a bonus at you.
2H2O plus O2 plus 4 moles of electrons going to 4OH minus.
Okay, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. That's your major question in Mfantsipim. Which cation is present in the rust formed when iron is corroded? Which cation is present in the rust formed when iron is corroded? Achu.
Fe2 plus.
Again,
Fe2 plus.
I'm sorry, and I'll give you another chance. And the answer is Fe3 plus. The ion has only 2 states, so if it's not 2 plus, you tell me it's 3 plus. So the answer is Fe3 plus. Your last question for this round, Amponsem secondary. Find the solution set of the quadratic inequality. Find the solution set of the quadratic inequality. X squared minus 5x plus 6 is less than or equal to 0. Daniel.
S is such that S is not equal to 2 or 3.
Again.
S is such that S is not equal to 2 or 3.
X is what?
Such that S is not equal to 2 or 3.
S is not equal to 2 or 3. No, that is not correct.
S is equal to 2 or 3.
No, I won't take that. Yes, Samuel.
S is greater than -2 and less than 3.
At all, I won't take that. In fact, for a bonus, actually.
X is such that 2 is less than or equal to x, and x is less than or equal to 3.
And that is correct. In fact, from your final question, find the solution set of the quadratic inequality. X squared minus x minus 12 is greater than 0. Achu.
X is less than -3, or x is greater than 4.
And that is correct also. And that, viewers, brings us to the end of round 2. Here are the scores at the end of round 2. Amponsem Secondary has 24 points. Mfantsipim School has 35 points. We'll move on now to the problem of the day, round 3. Contestants have 3 minutes within which to solve the problem of the day. As usual, the problem of the day is worth 10 points. Please turn over your sheets and I'll read the problem of the day. A 240-volt mains house circuit has the following light bulbs turned on: a 40-watt, a 60-watt, and a 100-watt bulb. Calculate the effective resistance of these bulbs. And that, viewers, is the problem of the day. You're welcome back. A contestant each from the schools will now go to the blackboard to present their school solution to the problem of the day. We'll now go through the solution I have, compare with what our contestants have, and subsequently award marks. Well, we've been told that a 240 mains house circuit has a 40-watt, a 60-watt, and a 100 bulb turned on. And we are supposed to calculate effective resistance. We say let RF be the effective resistance and PT be the total power. In that case, PT becomes, or PT equals V squared over RF, or PT equals V squared times 1 over RF. Now we know that household elements are normally wired in parallel. So 1 over RF will be 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 plus 1 over R3. Therefore, PT, which we have said is V squared times 1 over RF, becomes V squared times 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 plus 1 over R3, or PT is V squared over R1 plus V squared over R2 plus V squared over R3. And all that comes down to P1 plus P2 plus P3, because V squared over R is actually power. So the total power is actually the sum of the powers available. But we have said earlier that PT is V squared over RF. And therefore, P1 plus P2 plus P3 equals V squared over RF. Therefore, 40 plus 60 plus 100 equals 240 squared over RF. And your RF is 240 times 240 all over 200, which is the total power of the bulb. And if you work that out, you should get 288 ohms. Now, when we look at Mfantsipim's solution, they took a shortcut. They didn't show at all how they got to P1, P2, P3. They just know that total power should be P1 plus P2 plus P3, and they went ahead and solved the problem. Whether that would be the same if we were dealing with a system that is connected in series is what you don't know, because they took the shortcut and they were lucky to get there. And since they got there, I'll just have to give them the mark. Amponsem, on the other hand, were totally lost. They knew that total power, again, was 40 plus 60 plus 100, that's 200 watts. But we didn't give them current. So why they decided to use the P equals VI formula beats my imagination. You haven't been given current. So there they were completely lost. And for that effort, I give them 2 out of 10. And now to round 4. Most of the questions in this round involve calculation. Contestants, you have 30 seconds, therefore, to give me an answer. In a few instances, questions do not involve calculation, and you have 15 seconds within which to give me an answer. For the first 2 questions, there's a common preamble to both schools. And it's quite a long one. I hope you have your pens and papers ready, because I have some data for you. Listen attentively. Some dilute HCl or some dilute HCl was added to limestone, and the volume of carbon dioxide formed is measured over a period of time as follows. Now you have one row of data and another row of data. You have 2 rows of data. In the first row, you have time in minutes. Could you put that down? Time in minutes. And in the second row, you have volume of carbon dioxide in centimeter cube. Volume of carbon dioxide in centimeter cube. Now, under time in minutes, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. When time is 0, volume of carbon dioxide in centimeter cube is 0. At time 1 minute, volume of carbon dioxide is 40. So you put down 40. Time 2 minutes, volume of carbon dioxide 76. Time 3 minutes, volume of carbon dioxide 106. And at time 4 minutes, volume of carbon dioxide is 126. Do you have all that? So you have 2 rows of data. Time in minutes, time 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Volume of carbon dioxide 0, 40, 76, 106, 126. And I said some dilute HCl was added to limestone, and the volume of carbon dioxide formed is measured over a period of time as follows, and that is what I've given to you. In Mfantsipim School, calculate the average rate of carbon dioxide production during the first minute and give your answer in centimeter cubed per second. Achu.
2/3 centimeter cube per second.
And that is correct. Amponsem, calculate the average rate during the third minute and give your answer in centimeter cubed per second. Samuel.
0.5 centimeter cube per second.
And that is correct. In Mfantsipim School, give me 3 characteristics of insects in the order Lepidoptera. Okay.
They have feathery scales, and they have proboscis for sucking juices. And then finally, they have segmented bodies.
I'll give you 1 out of 3. Of course, they have a proboscis. Their mouth parts are modified into a proboscis for sucking. They normally have 2 pairs of membranous wings, which are normally brightly colored. And the body is covered with scales. The body is covered with scales. Amponsem secondary, your question. Give me 3 characteristics of mammals in the order Cetacea. Hannah.
Their hair on their skin is moderately reduced. They have the diaphragm, which separates the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. Then they are aquatic in nature. They are aquatic, so they possess gills for respiration.
1 out of 3. They have very little hair. That's what you were trying to say. They have no hind limbs. The forelimbs are modified into flippers. They are marine. They are streamlined. And they have an insulating layer of fat or blubber, okay, under the skin. Your question in Mfantsipim School. How many kilojoules of energy are required to turn a 100-gram ice block at 0 degrees Celsius into water at 0 degrees Celsius? Specific latent heat of fusion of ice is 3.4 times 10 to the 5 joules per kilogram. Asian.
That's 3.4 times 10 to the power minus 1 kilojoules.
Achu.
340 kilojoules.
Okay.
34 kilojoules.
And that is correct. Amponsem Secondary School, how many megajoules of energy are required to turn 2 kilograms of boiling water into steam? Specific latent heat of vaporization of water is 2.3 times 10 to the 6 joules per kilogram. Samuel.
4.6 megajoules.
And that is correct. Your question in Mfantsipim School. Find the values of x for which the function y equals x raised to the power 4 minus 4x cubed plus 16x has a point of inflection. Achu.
X is equal to 2 or minus 2.
Try again. Yes, Ishan.
X is equal to 4 or minus 1.
No. Okay.
X is equal to plus or minus 1.
No. Amponsem for a bonus. And the answer is x equals 0 or 2. X equals 0 or 2. Amponsem, find the maximum or minimum point of the curve defined by y equals x plus 4 over x squared. X stands alone, plus 4 over x squared. Hannah?
Y equals 3x plus 1.
No. Mfantsipim School for a bonus. Achu?
So 4.
No, it's not cube root of 4. We want you to find the point of the curve defined by y equals x plus 4 over x squared. Find the maximum or minimum point. All right, for a maximum or minimum point, d squared y dx squared should be greater, should be less than 0. You differentiate, equate to 0, find the point. If it's greater than 0, it's a minimum point, all right? If it's less than 0, it's a maximum point. You get 2, 3, and when you put it in your equation, it is greater than 0. So 2, 3 is a minimum point. That is the answer we were expecting. Your question in Mfantsipim School. Ammonium tetraoxosulfate 6 is a very common nitrogenous fertilizer. What is the percentage nitrogen in it? Molar masses for nitrogen, sulfur, and oxygen are given as 14, 32, and 16, respectively. Achu?
14%.
Actually, it's not 14%.
28%.
Try again, Achu. Asian.
7%.
It's not 7%. Yes, okay.
10%.
10% is not correct. 1% for a bonus. Samuel.
18%.
Pardon me.
18%. 18%.
No, and the answer is 21.2%. 21.2%. And you see, if you don't know the formula for ammonium tetraoxosulfate 6, you won't get the answer. It is NH4 in brackets 2 SO4. Now the next question, it goes to Amponsem. Ammonium trioxonitrate 5 is also used as a nitrogenous fertilizer. What is the percentage nitrogen? N is 14, O is 16, H is 1. That's the molar masses. Yes, Daniel.
50%.
No. That's not right. Yes, Samuel.
18.3%.
That is not correct. Hannah.
12%.
That is not correct either. To Achu for a bonus.
35%.
And 35% is correct. Your major question in Mfantsipim School. A lump of clay of mass 100 grams is thrown with a speed of 20 meters per second to strike a wall and get stuck to the wall. Find the magnitude of the impulse exerted by the clay. Achu.
Per second.
That is correct. Your question, Amponsem. A 1 kilogram object moving at 4 meters per second collides head-on with a 2 kilogram object moving at 8 meters per second in the opposite direction. If the two bodies stick together after impact, find the final speed. Daniel.
6 meters per second.
That's not true, Daniel. Samuel.
It's 6.33 meters per second.
That is not correct. That is not correct. Hannah.
80 meters per second.
Hannah is not 8 meters per second. Achu for a bonus.
4 meters per second in the initial direction of the 2 kilogram mass.
And that is correct. Your question in Mfantsipim School. Pick the odd one out. Only one attempt. Only one attempt. A, renal vein. B, jugular vein. C, hepatic vein. D, coronary vein. E, pulmonary vein. Okay.
Pulmonary vein.
And that is correct. And that's because it carries oxygenated blood and all the others carry deoxygenated blood. Pick the odd one out, Amponsem. Only one attempt. A, shark. B, tilapia. C, lobster. D, frog. E, crocodile. Hannah, is your hand up?
Tilapia.
I'm sorry, and I said only one attempt. The answer is lobster. Lobster. Because it is an invertebrate and all the others are vertebrates. To the last two questions of round 4, Mfantsipim, your question. Find constants A, B, and C such that 5x squared plus 4x plus 3 is equivalent to AX. Now you start bracket x plus 1 brackets closed plus b into brackets x plus 1 brackets closed plus c. Achu.
A is 5, B is minus 1, and C is 3.
Try again. Yes, okay.
A is 5, B is minus 1, and C is 4.
And that is correct. Amponsem, your final question for this round. Find constants A, B, and C such that x squared plus x plus 1 is equivalent to AX, start brackets, x minus 1 brackets closed, plus b into brackets, x minus 1 plus c. Daniel.
C is 3, A is 0, and B is 2.
Try again. Samuel, do you want to try? Daniel, go ahead, yes?
C is 3, A is 1, and B is 2.
And that is correct. And on that note, we come to the end of round 4. At the end of round 4, the scores are as follows. Amponsem Secondary has 36 points. Mfantsipim School has 63 points. We'll move on to round 5, the final round of the contest. We'll start with the riddles. I'll be reading the clues to the riddles. Contestants, please, when you're ready to solve a riddle, remember to ring the bell and raise your hand immediately after that so I know who rang the bell. If you solve a riddle, as usual, on one clue, you gain 5 points. On a second clue, you gain 4 points. On a third or other number of clues, you gain 3 points. And if you should attempt solving the riddle and you get it wrong, you're out of competition for that particular riddle. Good luck to both schools. I'll read the first riddle. I am essentially a pack of folded membranes. I was discovered in 1898 by an Italian cytologist. I am associated with eukaryotic cells. I come in all sizes and shapes, and I occupy different positions in different cells. I am popular with secretory cells. This is because my major function is to package secretory products in the cell. Anna.
Scorchboard.
And that is correct. To the second riddle. I am one of two brothers. My brother dislikes beating about the bush, and like me, he goes straight to the point. I, on the other hand, enjoy moving back and forth. I dislike averages. I never produce one. From our names, you can tell that we keep abreast with the times. If you have heard of the city Washington, you must know my brother. Who am I? Who rang the bell? Achu?
AC current.
And AC is correct. And Achu, you don't say AC current. It is AC, alternating current. Okay? And that is correct. To the third riddle. I am a 2-digit number. To be precise, I am a square, and the sum of my digits is also a square. Amazingly, I am equal to the square of the sum of my digits. I have only one prime factor, which is 3. Who am I? Who rang the bell? Samuel.
81.
81 is... And now the last riddle. I am a process. I love electrons and will take them away from you. If you offer me your hydrogens, I shall accept them together. Achu?
Oxidation.
And oxidation is correct. And now to the second part of the final round, the true or false part. Contestants, you are to tell me whether the statements I make are true or false. You have 10 seconds within which to do that. If you give me a wrong answer, you attract a penalty of -1. A correct answer is worth 2 points. If you choose not to answer, not to state whether your statement is true or false, I may pass it on to the other school for the same rule. And I'll start with you this time, Amponsem. Herbivorous animals have longer intestines than carnivorous animals. Hannah, that is correct. In Mfantsipim, composition of functions is commutative. Okay.
True.
I'm sorry, okay, that is false. Your statement, Amponsem, the human jaw is a liver. Hannah. True. That is correct. In Mfantsipim, carbon 2 oxide is a compound because it contains 2 atoms joined together. Asian.
False.
That is correct. Amponsem, multiplication of matrices is not associative. Hannah. I'm sorry, Hannah. In Mfantsipim, the glenoid cavity is located on the clavicle. Asian.
False.
That is correct. Amponsem, in the Earth's atmosphere, there is normally more argon than carbon dioxide. Samuel.
It's false.
I'm sorry, Samuel, that is true. In Mfantsipim, pressure in water is a vector quantity. Yes, okay.
True.
That is correct. Amponsem composition of functions is associative. Hannah.
True.
That is correct. Mfantsipim, the faster air moves over a surface, the more pressure it exerts on the surface. Achu?
False.
That is correct. Amponsem, if the molecular mass of butane is 58, it means each molecule is 58 times as heavy as the element hydrogen. Samuel.
It's false.
That is correct. Mfantsipim, multiplication of matrices is commutative. Okay.
False.
That is correct. Amponsem secondary sickle cell anemia is an example of incomplete dominance. Hannah.
False.
That is correct. That is correct. Mfantsipim, in all chemical reactions, at least one new substance is produced. Okay. That is correct. Your last statement, Amponsem secondary, it is possible for a body to have a negative value of potential energy. Yes, Hannah.
False.
I'm sorry, Hannah. That's true. In Mfantsipim school, inherited characters showing continuous variation are controlled by a pair of genes. Achu?
False.
And that is correct. And that is where we end today's contest. At the end of the contest, Amponsem secondary has 49 points. Mfantsipim school has 82 points. I'm sorry, Amponsem secondary. We got you back this year only for Mfantsipim to send you packing again. But thank you for coming on the program. We hope to see you sometime in the future. Congratulations, Mfantsipim School. You've made it to the next stage of this year's competition, and I look forward to seeing you then. Viewers, I hope you learned something today. I always do. Make a date with me, same time next week when Chemu Secondary meets with Tamale Secondary School. Have a good weekend. Good morning and welcome to the program. It is my pleasure to bring you the 8th contest in the preliminary series of this year's National Science and Maths Quiz. Competing are Chemu Secondary and Tamale Secondary School. Stay with us, the program continues shortly. Hello again. Let's meet our contestants. To the far right, we have Chemu Secondary represented by
Isaac Otri, Form 2. Mano Mensah, Form 2. Lithia Chebi, SS3.
And to my immediate right, we have Tamale Secondary School represented by
Abdullah Abdul Majid, SS3.
Asma Hamza, SS3.
Abdullah Osman, 3rd year.
You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, we have our 5 rounds of competition, and we'll start, of course, with round 1. You have 15 seconds within which to give me an answer in this round. A major question answered correctly is worth 3 points, and I may pass an incorrectly answered question on to be answered only once or attempted only once for a bonus point of 1 if answered correctly. I'll start with you, Tamale Secondary, and your question is, in placental mammals, there are separate openings from the ducts of the digestive, urinary, and genital systems. In most vertebrates, the 3 systems open into one chamber. What name is given to this chamber? Hamza.
The vestibule.
That's not right. Chemu for a bonus.
Sorry, the lactee
Victoria.
cells. The lactee cells.
That is not correct, and the answer is cloaca. Cloaca. Your question, Chemu Secondary. In animals belonging to the order Artiodactyla, most of the weight of the animal is supported by 2 digits. Which are these 2 digits? Only one attempt. Emmanuel.
The hoofs.
No. All the digits form the hoof. Which of the digits? For bonus, Tamale Secondary.
The first and second.
No, it's the 3rd and 4th digits. The 3rd and 4th digits. Your question, Tamale Secondary. When a longitudinal wave travels through a medium, the portions of the medium where the particles are most widely spaced are called Hamza.
The crest.
No, not crest. For bonus, Chemu. Isaac.
The antinodes.
I'm sorry, and the answer is rarefactions. Your question, Chemu Secondary. Light of a single frequency of wavelength is called blank. Victoria.
Interference wave.
That is not correct. Tamale for a bonus, Hamza.
The monochromatic light.
That is correct. Your major question, Tamale Secondary. Write 57.38 correct to one significant figure. Osman.
50.
I'm sorry. Hamza.
60.
And 60 is correct. Chemu Secondary, write 0.00528 correct to one significant figure. Emmanuel.
0.005.
And that is correct. Tamale Secondary, why does the atomic radius increase from lithium down to cesium? Majid.
This is because down the group, the atomic, the effective nuclear charge decreases, and because of that, the shielding effect also lessens. So the attraction on the outermost electron is less, so the radius increases.
I'll give you the math. Secondary, your question, why does the first ionization energy decrease down a group in the periodic table? Yes, Emmanuel.
The first ionization energy decreases down the group because as you go down the group, the effective nuclear charge decreases because new shells are added. And as such, more energy is needed to remove an electron in there.
And again, I'll give you the math. Your question, Tamale Secondary, find the remainder when f of x equals, that's the function f of x equals x cubed minus 6x plus 3 is divided by x minus 2. Majid?
7.
No. Osman?
Minus 7.
No, not minus 7. Hamza?
Minus 2.
No. Osman?
Minus 1.
And that is correct. Term secondary, find the remainder when the function f of x equals 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x minus 1 is divided by x minus 1. Emmanuel?
0.
0 is correct. Tamale secondary, when ethanol is passed over heated aluminum oxide catalyst, a gas that can be collected over water is produced. What could this gas be? Yes, Hamza?
Ethane.
And that is correct. Shemu secondary, name the product formed when ethane reacts with bromine. Emmanuel?
1,2-dibromoethane.
And that's right. That's correct. Your question, Tamale Secondary. In botany, what does the abbreviation IAA stand for? Hamza?
Indole acetic acid.
And that is right. Shemu Secondary, complete the following sentence. Indole acetic acid is an example of naturally occurring blank.
Oxens.
Emmanuel?
Oxens.
That is correct. And to the last two questions of the round, Tamale, your question, select the two best conductors from the following: silver, iron, aluminium, copper, glass. Osman?
Copper and aluminium.
You have one last chance, Osman.
Copper and silver.
And that is correct. Term secondary, select the two worst conductors from the following: iron, lead, silicon, glass, wood. Emmanuel?
Wood and glass.
That's correct. And that's the end of round one. At the end of round one, Shemu Secondary has 18 points, Tamale Secondary has 19 points. It's still anybody's race. Let's move on to round two and see what happens. This is the applied science round. You have 15 seconds within which to give me an answer in most cases. In a few cases, you will have 30 seconds because questions will involve calculation. Again, any student from each school may answer the question. Remember to call my attention so I call you to give your answer. I'll start with you this time, Shemu Secondary. A driver traveling at high speed suddenly spots an obstacle blocking the whole road and thus applies the brakes. In order to avoid hitting the obstacle, would it be wiser to steer the vehicle sideways or to maintain a straight path while applying the brakes? Emmanuel.
It's better to apply the brakes sideways. As when the brakes apply sideways, he increases the stopping time, and as such increases the stopping distance, and as such the distance taken for him to crash is longer, and as such he does not crash the wall.
I'm not convinced. You have to do better. You still have some time. 2 tamale for a bonus. Hamza.
Is to move straight ahead, because as he move, if he tries to swerve the car, the center of gravity might move out of the base, and that might make the car to stop.
And for a bonus, I won't give you the mark. It would be wiser to maintain the vehicle in a straight line path, because if he swerves sideways, he won't get the full braking force. He would only be left with a component of the braking force, because you'll be turning the direction. You have an angle. So you would only be left with a component of the braking force. You won't have the full braking force to stop your car when you want it stopped. Your question, Tamale Secondary. It is well known that solids contract upon cooling, and yet in temperate countries, water pipes sometimes burst open during the cold season. What causes this? Majid.
This is because water behavior is anomalous. So at lower temperature, the water rather expands. So because of that, it will burst the pipe.
I'll give you the mark. Yes, it's not the pipes that are expanding. The pipes would normally contract, but water expands when it freezes. And because it's a water pipe, it will then expand against the walls of the pipe, and that may cause it to burst. Your question, Chemu Secondary. A 3-digit number, and this is a preamble to both schools, a 3-digit number is to be formed from the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chemu Secondary, in how many ways can this be done if the number is an odd number and a digit may be repeated? Emmanuel.
75.
And that is correct. Tamale Secondary, in how many ways can this be done if the number is an even number and no digit may be repeated? Hamza.
24.
And 24 is correct. Chemu Secondary, even though a horse can mate with a donkey to produce a mule, horses and donkeys are considered to be different species. Why? Emmanuel.
This is because horses and donkeys are in different orders. That is, horses are artiodactyl and donkeys are perissodactyl. And as such...
Emmanuel, you're giving me back my question. Why are they in different orders?
Because they have different number of toes.
No, I won't take that. Tamale Secondary, Osman.
When they interbreed, the offspring form will not be fertile.
I'll give you the mark. It's because the mule that is formed is sterile. And if 2 organisms are in the same species, when they produce offspring, they normally should be fertile. All right? Your question, Tamale Secondary. Give me 2 reasons why inbreeding of organisms is not desirable. Osman.
New characteristics and new characteristic features are not formed. That is, the organism will not be resistant to certain diseases.
Do you want to add more?
When they inbreed them, the offspring that is produced, there's a likelihood that they will pass on disease to the offspring that is produced.
You're repeating what he has said. I'll give you 2. Yeah, the first thing you said boils down to the fact that there will be no variation. You see, there will be a reduction in the heterozygosity of your offspring because you won't have new characteristics. That's what you said, being formed when you inbreed. And then there'll be the result of harmful recessive genes appearing in the phenotype. That's where diseases may come in. And of course, it results in the loss of hybrid vigor. Your question, Chemu Secondary, briefly describe one undesirable effect resulting from contamination of natural water bodies by inorganic fertilizers. Emmanuel.
When inorganic fertilizers are introduced to water bodies, it makes the water bodies acidic and thus kills the fishes in the water bodies and reduces, and since they decay, the amount of carbon dioxide in the water body increases.
I can't take that. I can't take that. To Tamale Secondary for a bonus. Yes, Hamza.
The inorganic fertilizers contain some chemicals or some elements which are poisonous to the human body. So when they contaminate the sea, when human beings take in the water, they are affected by those elements.
And I won't take that either. See, inorganic fertilizers normally contain phosphates and nitrates, and these are nutrients for plant growth. So when you have them in the water, they encourage algal growth. You have a lot of algae growing, and sometimes they grow so much as to sort of wipe out all other organisms in the water. Because they take up all the oxygen, they just use up everything, because they have so much nutrients to work with. Your question, Tamale Secondary. One problem associated with the widespread use of nuclear reactors is that of disposal of waste products. Why is the burying of the waste underground in steel containers not necessarily the best option? Yes, Osman.
When they are released, they produce toxic substances which have large half-lives, and it takes much time for them to undergo disintegration.
Osman, I won't take that. I won't take that. Chemu for a bonus. Oh well, why is it not advisable to bury them in steel containers? The containers may corrode. Then you will have your radioactive material leaking out to contaminate the soil and water. Your question, Chemu Secondary. Why are radiators of cars constructed to have numerous strips instead of a single radiating plate? Yes, Emmanuel.
This is to help in the escape of heat from the radiators, to prevent the too much buildup of heat inside the car, which may cause explosion.
And what exactly does that?
They absorb the heat.
I can't take that. I can't take that. Exactly what happens? Tamale Secondary. Yes, Hamza.
They are there to sieve the carbon dioxide that will be produced, and since carbon dioxide
No, I won't take that either. See, why does the radiator have numerous strips instead of a single plate? The numerous strips are to give it a large surface area, and that encourages heat exchange with the surrounding air, all right? That makes heat exchange better, and it wasn't coming out from Chemu's answer. Your question, Tamale Secondary. When a thin wire is connected across the two terminals of a battery, the wire grows hot. Why? Yes, Majid.
Because the wire has got a resistance to the current that is flowing, so it builds up heat as a result of friction. So it builds up heat in the wire.
You have to say that again.
As a result of friction, the wire has got a resistance. It resists the flow of current that is passing through it. So it builds up, because of friction, the energy, the current that is passing results in the...
I'll give you the math. Chemu Secondary, your question. The average age of 20 students in a class is 15 years, and the average age of the students and their teacher is 17 years. How old is the teacher? Emmanuel.
57 years.
That is correct. Tamale Secondary, your question. The average age of students and their teacher in a class is 18 years. The total age is 378 years. Find the number of pupils in the class. Yes, Hamza.
21.
No, Hamza. It's not 21. Osman?
22 years.
No, I can't take that. Yes, Hamza?
12.
I'm sorry. To Chemu for a bonus, Emmanuel.
21 years.
It's not 21 years. Why are you getting 21? It is 20. You want the pupils n plus 1 times 18 should give you 378. Okay? Not n times 18. N plus 1 times 18 should give you 378. Your question, Chemu Secondary. Lizards intermittently bask in the sun. What is the physiological importance of this? Emmanuel.
Lizards are ectothermic organisms, living organisms, and as such, they need to use the temperature of the environment to acquire their energy, the energy they need to survive. And as such, when they bask in the sun, they acquire enough energy to help them to function, for their metabolism, and help them also to function.
I'll give you the mark. Tamale Secondary, explain why people curl up when they are cold. Yes, Hamza?
When they curl up, they reduce the surface area exposed to the atmosphere, thereby producing enough heat for the body to maintain its constant body temperature.
I'll give you the mark. Your final question for this round, Chemu Secondary. Which is more abundant in the Earth's crust, aluminium or iron? Only one attempt. Emmanuel?
Aluminium.
And that is correct. Oxygen constitutes 50% of Earth's crust by mass. All metals constitute nearly 25%. Which element forms the bulk of the remaining 25%? Osman?
Silicon.
Silicon is correct. And that brings us to the end of round 2. Viewers, here are the scores at the end of round 2. Chemu Secondary has 30 points and Tamale Secondary has 37 points. I'll say it's still a close race. We'll move on to round 3, the problem of the day. Contestants, you have 3 minutes within which to solve the problem of the day, after which one student from each school would go to the board to present your solutions. Please turn over your sheets now and I'll read the problem of the day. The resistance to the motion of a car is partly a constant and partly proportional to the square of the speed. When the speed is 20 kilometers per hour, the resistance is 50 newtons. When the speed is 30 kilometers per hour, the resistance is 100 newtons. At what speed is the resistance 170 newtons? And that is the problem of the day. Welcome back, viewers. Let's now have our contestants go to the blackboard to present their solutions. Now we'll quickly run through my solution and see how our contestants fared. We say let R be resistance to the motion of the car and V be speed. Then R will be equal to A plus KV squared, where A and K are constants. When V is 20 kilometers per hour, 50 equals A plus K times 20 squared. And when V is 30 kilometers per hour, 100 is A plus K times 30 squared from the information given in the question. Thus, we have two equations, 50 equals A plus 400K and 100 equals A plus 900K. Solving for A and K, we get 50 equals 500K. That is subtracting one equation from the other. When you solve that, you get K to be 1 over 10, and hence A equals 10. Therefore, we have an equation R equals 10 plus V squared over 10. Thus, when R equals 170 newtons, 10 plus V squared over 10 equals 170. And if you solve for V, you should get 40 kilometers per hour. From that, we can see that both schools did justice to the problem of the day. It's just the constants that were used that differed. I used A and K as constants. They used A and B. And in one case, speed was represented as S, and in the other, V, as I did. So they've actually gone through the problem the way we expected them to. And for that effort, they all get 10 out of 10. Let's now move on to round 4. As I keep saying, it's still anybody's race. The gap is not that wide. Good luck to both schools. In round 4, you will have 30 seconds within which to give me an answer in most cases, because questions involve calculation. In a few cases, there will be no calculation, and so you will have 50 seconds within which to give me an answer. I'll start with you, Tamale Secondary. Give me 3 differences between the structure of the root of a monocotyledon and that of a dicotyledon. Yes, Hamza.
Monocotyledons have a fibrous root system, but dicotyledons have a taproot system. And also with monocotyledons, have a larger pith. The roots of monocotyledons have a larger pith than that of dicotyledons.
You have been bailed out and you aren't making any headway. Chemu Secondary for bonus, Emmanuel.
Monocots have no cambium, dicots have a cambium. Monocots do not undergo secondary divisions, dicots undergo secondary divisions, and dicots have various alternating veins, whilst monocots have a few alternating veins, network of veins.
Bonus, I won't give you the mark. Of course, there's no cambium in the monocotyledon, but there is in the dicot. And monocots may or may not have a central pith. In dicots, they just don't have it. You don't find it at all. And then, of course, there are alternating xylem and phlegm in monocots, and you don't have them in dicots. But I can't give you half of one. That was why I didn't give you the mark. Your question, Chemu Secondary. Give me 3 differences between the structure of arteries and veins. Yes, Emmanuel.
Arteries have thicker walls than veins, also arteries carry oxygenated blood, whilst veins carry deoxygenated blood.
Arteries also about structure.
Structure. Okay, arteries have elastic veins, elastic fibers. Veins do not have elastic fibers. And also, arteries have valves. Veins have valves. Arteries do not have valves.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. Yeah, the arteries, of course, have thick muscular walls, whilst you don't find that in the veins. Veins have valves, arteries do not. And then arteries have smaller lumens, whilst veins have larger lumens. Your question, Tamale Secondary. A radioactive sample has a half-life of 3 hours. What will be its activity 12 hours from now? its activity now is 64 units. Yes, Osman.
16.
No, Osman. Yes, Majid. And 4 is correct. Your question, Chemu Secondary, a radioactive element has a half-life of 15 minutes. After how many hours will 200 grams of this element reduce to 6.25 grams? Yes, Emmanuel.
75 minutes.
No. Yes, I'm listening.
1 to 5 minutes.
1 to 5 minutes, no. Osman for a bonus.
For 4 minutes.
15 over 4.
Minutes.
No, that is not right. That is not right. And it's 1 hour 25 minutes, which should be 85 minutes. 1.25 hours, which should be 85 minutes. Your question, Tamale Secondary. Express the repeating decimal as a rational number. Um, 1.35 is your repeating decimal, 1.35. Yes, Hamza.
99 over 1135.
No, Hamza. Yes, Majid.
134 over 99.
Again.
134 over 99.
And that is correct. Chemu Secondary, express the repeating decimal as a rational number. 0.017. 017. Yes, Emmanuel.
17 over 900.
No, Emmanuel. Yes, I'm listening.
17 over 990.
And that is correct. Your question, Tamale Secondary, give me the names of the 2 scientists who determined the twisted ladder-like structure of DNA, that is the double helix structure. Osman.
Chadwick and
Yes, Hamza.
Watson and Crick.
And it's correct. James Watson and Francis Crick. Osman, what were you trying to do to your team? James Watson and Francis Crick. Chemu Secondary, your question. Give me the name of the scientist who devised the method of destroying disease-causing bacteria in milk by heating to 65 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. Yes, Emmanuel.
Louis Pasteur.
And that is correct. Your question, Tamale Secondary. In a multiple choice test, and I guess this is a preamble to both schools, please listen attentively. In a multiple choice test, each question has 5 answers, of which only 1 is correct. A student taking the test answers 3 questions by guessing. Find the probability that, Tamale, exactly 2 out of the 3 answers are correct. Osman.
3 over 25.
No. Yes, Majid.
3 over 125.
Not 3 over 125. Yes, Osman.
1 out of 5.
I can take that. Hamza.
1 over 2.
Suchemu for a bonus. Emmanuel.
2 over 25.
No, not 2 over 25, and the answer is 12 over 125. Now, Chemu, find the probability that exactly 1 out of the 3 answers is correct. Yes, Emmanuel.
1 over 125.
Not 1 over 125. Yes, Victoria.
9 over 125.
Not 9 over 125. Emmanuel again.
59 over 125.
And I can't take that either. For a bonus, Majid.
Over 125.
Oh boy. And the answer is 48 over 125. 48 over 125. When you have exactly 2 out of 3 answers correct, you have 3 possibilities. You either have correct, correct, wrong, or correct, wrong, correct, or wrong, correct, correct. Okay? And when it's correct, correct, they say only one answer is right. So it's 1 over 5, 1 over 5. And when it's wrong, it's 4 over 5. Do you get that? And so you have all those 3 possibilities. In each case, you have 4 over 125. So you add them up for the 3 cases because it's this or that or that. And you get 12 out of 125. In the second case, you have only 1 of the 3 answers correct. So again, you have 3 possibilities: correct, wrong, 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 correct, wrong, or wrong, wrong, correct. You get it? And then you do it similarly, and you should end up with 48 over 125. Let's move on. Your question, Tamale Secondary. Explain carefully how you would prepare 500 centimeter cubes of 0.1 mole per decimeter cube solution of HCl from a stock solution of 0.25 mole per decimeter cube. Yes, Osman.
Take 50 cm of the stock solution and add 450 cm of water.
I won't take that. Yes, Osman.
Take 50 cm of a solution and put it in a 500 cm fermented flask and add 450 cm of water until it reaches the mark.
At all. Table for a bonus, Emmanuel.
You take 200 cm of the stock solution and top it up to 500 cm.
And that is correct. Your question, Temu Secondary, your major question, 30 centimeter cube of a 0.2 mole per decimeter cube of HCl solution were diluted to 150 centimeter cube. What was the concentration of the new solution? Emmanuel.
0.04 mole per decimeter.
That is correct. And that is correct. To the last 2 questions of the round, your question, Tamale Secondary. An electrical appliance consumes 1 kilowatt of power from a 200-volt source. If the appliance consists of a number of resistance elements, each of 5 ohm in series, how many of these resistance elements are in the appliance? Yes, Osman.
8.
8 is correct. 8 is correct. Chairman Secondary, your final question. A given mass of gas at constant pressure has a volume of 300 centimeter cubed at 0 degrees Celsius. At what temperature in degrees Celsius will its volume be 500 centimeter cubed? Yes, Emmanuel. Yes, Emmanuel.
182 degrees Celsius.
And that is correct. That is correct. That, viewers, brings us to the end of round 4. At the end of round 4, here are the scores. Chemu Secondary has 55 points. Tamale Secondary has 59 points. Viewers, our friends from Tamale have consistently kept their lead till this point. And this is the tricky round. I guess all I can say is good luck to both schools. I really wish you all the best, because I'm sure everybody wants to make it into the next stage of the competition. In this round, we'll be dealing with our riddles and our true or false statements. We'll start, of course, with the riddles. I'll be reading the clues. When you're ready to solve a riddle, please ring the bell, raise your hand immediately after so I can know and call who rang the bell. We'll start with the first. Of course. Chemists and other scientists describe me as hard, but I easily yield to touch. It is hard to imagine how I earned my name, since I'm not particularly difficult. Perhaps it is because I give laundrymen a hard time. Most of them have learned that I can be overcome with a lot more investment in soap. Emmanuel.
Hard water.
I'm sorry, I can't take hard water, Emmanuel. The tried and tested laundryman, however, gets to know that boiling gets rid of me. Magnesium and calcium ions, as well as hydrogen carbonate ions, are the common denominations of my currency. Who am I? Hamza.
Temporal hardness.
That is correct. Temporary hardness is the answer. The second riddle. I am a geometric relation or entity. I am much involved in photography, either in enlargement or in reduction. Osman.
Magnification.
I'm sorry. Osman, how can enlargement or reduction be magnification? When you are reducing, is it magnification? Anyway, I'll go on. I am much used in physical planning, especially in maps and site plans. I am the equality of shapes. My close relation is congruence. Who am I? Your time is flying. Yes, Emmanuel.
A skill.
Oh, no. And the answer is similarity. Similarity. At the end, Tamale Secondary had the answer, but they had already taken themselves out of the competition. Chemo Secondary, to the third riddle. I am a method used for simplifying problems in mechanics. My name is in 3 parts, the first part of which denotes strength of will. I am used to break up the third part of my name into parts in different directions from the original direction. I am a close relative to vectors. If you still don't know me, the first part of my name sounds like what people make every new year. Who am I? Hamza.
Resolution.
I won't take that. I will not take that. Oh, okay. Not Pythagoras theorem. This is unbelievable. The first part of my name sounds like what people make every new year, and it's resolution of forces. Resolution of forces. To the last riddle. I am a small segmented worm. I have no distinct head, parapodia, or chyte. My body is shortened and flattened. I am a hermaphrodite. I have suckers that enable me to cling onto my victims. In the good old days, I was used by doctors to suck blood from sick people. Who am I? Who am I? Victoria. Oh, not tapeworm. Not tapeworm. Hamza.
The hookworm.
It's not the hookworm, and the answer is the leech. The leech. Now to the second part of round 5. Are the statements I make true or false? A correct answer earns you 2 points. An incorrect answer attracts a penalty of -1. So it would be better not to guess if you're not sure. I'll start with you this time, Chemu Secondary. It is possible for a body to have a negative speed. Emmanuel.
False.
That's correct. Tamale Secondary. If x is less than y, then X plus Z is less than Y plus Z. Osman?
It is true.
That is correct. Chemu Secondary, when dilute H2SO4 is electrolyzed using platinum electrodes, oxygen gas is released as the anode. Emmanuel?
False.
I'm sorry. That is true. Tamale Secondary, the growth curve of a plant is S-shaped. Osman?
It's true.
That is correct. Chemu Secondary, if X is less than Y, then Kx is less than Ky for any number K.
False.
Emmanuel?
False.
That is correct. Tamale, it is possible for a body to have a negative velocity. Osman?
It's true.
That is correct. Chemu, stomata are usually more abundant on the lower side of a leaf. Victoria?
True.
That is correct. Tamale Secondary, when dilute copper sulfate is electrolyzed using platinum rods, copper is formed as a cathode. Hamza?
It's true.
That is correct. Chemu Secondary, the lifespan of a human red blood cell is about 2 months. 2 months. Victoria?
False.
That is correct. Tamale Secondary, a gas has no definite shape but has a definite volume. Osman?
It's false.
That is correct. Chemu Secondary, a body can never have velocity and displacement in opposite directions. Isaac?
False.
I'm sorry, Isaac. That is true. That is very true. Tamale Secondary, in birds there are more white blood cells than red blood cells. Yes, Majid.
False.
That is false. That is false. Now listen carefully to this one. Chemu Secondary, log to base A of B raised to power n equals n log to base A of B. Emmanuel?
It's true.
That is correct. Log to base A of n over m equals log to base A of n minus log to base A of m. Hamza?
True.
That is correct. Last two statements, Chemu, your statements. Sometimes liquids can be compressed to give smaller volumes. Victoria?
True.
I'm sorry, Victoria, that is false. That is false. And your last statement, Tamale, acceleration and speed are always in the same direction. Osman?
It's false.
And that is correct. That is correct. Viewers, at the end of the contest, here are the scores. Chemu Secondary has 62 points and Tamale Secondary has 78 points. And so we are experiencing our second upset in this year's National Science and Maths Quiz competition. Tamale Secondary School has knocked out our third place winners from last year. We're sorry about that, Chemu Secondary, but thank you for coming onto the program. Congratulations, Tamale Secondary. You've made it to the next stage of the competition. I'm sure you're feeling very proud of yourself. Congratulations. Same time next week, the competition will be between Keta Secondary School and St. Monica's Secondary School. I'll see you then. Bye for now.